In my last video, I talked about a live that I watched where a guy was very, very angry and talking about black women in such a derogatory way, about how combative and argumentative and competitive we are with the black man. And they have created this label for black women, the angry black woman, and there needs to be a label for men like him, bitter black men. And you might say the solution is not to create labels. However, the angry black woman label has stuck and stood the test of time and continues to be the label that everybody uses. So if there are no labels to be used, let's eliminate that one as well. But I digress. Bitter black men, Kevin Samuels, and everybody that agrees with him, get your whole life together. Your whole life together, bitter black man. Your whole life. If I want to be a 10 in business, I'm going to take advice from a Jay-Z type. Someone who is phenomenally successful. And most of these brothers that are talking, including Kevin Samuels and the brother that I was listening to the other night, they're single. So why would I take marriage advice or relationship advice from somebody who's not even married? Number one, you're telling me that I'm not marriage caliber, but you're not married? Really? And you might look at me and say, well, are you married? Yes, I am married. I am married. I've only been married once. I will be married 21 years next month. And I have been with my husband for 23 years. He is my only marriage. I am his only marriage. So yes, I am able to talk on the subject. But I want you guys to get yourselves together. And anybody any sheep that are following these wolves in sheep's clothing, they're not about bringing the community together. They're not about solution focused outcomes, positive solution outcomes for our community. It's more division. And aren't we looking to become more unified? We should be looking to become more unified. That should be the whole point of any conversation about black men and women. How can we come together even more? Because there are a lot of us out here who are together, who are setting an example for our children, building foundations, leaving excellent legacies. There are plenty of us out here that are doing that. Are we going to talk about that ever? Or are we only going to talk about single women, single men, their issues on getting together, or hardships about getting together? And are we going to talk about it in a constructive manner? Not B-word this and B-word that and complaining about how women are and we need to take full accountability. No, it's not just up to us. It takes two. You need to be fully accountable too. You need to be non-competitive and non-argumentative too. How about that? Let's start there. Let's start with a conversation, like a civil conversation, an intelligent conversation where you don't insult me as a black woman, especially if I'm coming to you for help or advice. And that sister who's talking to Kevin Samuels was coming to him for advice. And he totally did it on her. Calling her average when, child, It's like he was talking to a mirror. And that's another thing. Projection is real. People will project their fears, their insecurities, everything negative about themselves and what they think about themselves onto you if you let them. You got to be so careful who you go to. Consider your source every time. This was part 2. Come on, bitter black men. Get it together. You need to go sit on someone's couch so you can get rid of your bitterness. You need to do your self-accountability, your self-examination.